We need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on. Kaito. Finally, you noticed? Jeez, you're so slow. Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice? Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet. Let us talk about Tenko's place then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue. Yeah, maybe. They're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. But that was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional? So, what do we talk about first? Huh. So I'm thinking about what Shuichi just said. Now, obviously, Himiko is kind of suspicious by Merida being on the student council, and she is suspicious because the pickaxe was in her corner. So is that big hole. And isn't it kind of like a magician's trick to suddenly disappear down under somewhere? Oh, and she was in the seance. So yeah, she knew where Tenko would be and when. But isn't it like a magician's trick to like disappear suddenly, quickly, through a small space and come out somewhere else? So I think if anybody were going to be able to do that who's in the seance, Himiko would be best suited to do that by nature of her talent. So, what will we talk about first? For now, let us see if we can narrow down the list of suspects. Tencrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there is suspicious. Also, if we look at this from the perspective of people who are not on the student council and who are not on the seance, just because those are all the obvious people, I wonder who that would leave. To somehow do the murder, it would leave Kaito. And it would leave Maki. That's not good. And it would leave Miyu. I don't think it's one of those, though. They all seem too story important. I'll be surprised if Kaito survives to the end, but I don't think this is his time. It's totally not because I got spoiled or anything. Tencrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there is suspicious. Tencrotch? The people who attended the seance. Really? We have to do that? Okay, Korekyo, Shuichi, Himiko, Kokichi, right? And then Tenko is the fifth. It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi. So those four are the culprits. Oh, Himiko's still culprit. Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea. True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious. Well, I suppose, but... In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko. Oh shit! Himiko also grabbed the stone. I wonder if that matters. However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use? The middle room. The middle room's always the best for stuff like this. Very well. I shall begin the preparations at once. Oh, right. Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see? Point of entry from the outside. He must be referring to the below the thingy, which is this hole. I'm not really clear Is it if it's the wall or like just the floor? Okay. But it's the hole over there. I know it's over there. I just wasn't sure if the hole was whatever. You're talking about the under the floor, right? I mean, because it looks like the hole is in the wall. There's no visual indication that there's a hole in the floor despite them talking about it. Huh? Under the floor? Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person could move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room. If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room. If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect. Just one other suspect? Another suspect? Who? It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Denko's killer. Kid child, Thunderstone, loose floorboard, hole in the corner. The last thing, the culprit sneaked in during the sounds by crawling under the floor. That was misplaced. It was pitch black during the sounds. How could they even see if they were under the floor? Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light. Light? You mean the candle? I mean Kibo's flashlight function. Huh? Now hold on a second. Kibo could use that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance. I said, hold on a second. He uses robot functions to commit the murders. Hold on a second. It's true that with a little light you can move around under the floor, but we probably would have seen that from under the floorboards. Anyway, I'm pretty surprised that this is a truth bullet. I mean, this is something we have to argue against when we have a truth bullet for it, you know? But is that possible? I'm wondering if it's the cage child bullet because then it wouldn't have been totally dark. What are my other options? Could use that function to get under the floor. I think that's the one I have to break. Maybe with the hole in the floor meaning we would have seen the lights. So let me try that. Did I hit the... Sure, it's cramped on the floor, but there's enough room for one person to move around. Especially that had Kibo's flashlight. I was thinking we would see the light through the hole. And should I try the floorboards there? Because we could also see it through the floorboards. Well, we wouldn't see it through the loose floorboard. That one's different. So I ended up dying. From time limit again. Wait, that was it? I thought it... Okay. I don't even know what that was, to be honest. That took me for fucking ever. No, I don't think the culprit could have used the light while under the floor. Oh, that's the hole. Okay, I couldn't really tell that. There was a hole in the corner of the room. Which means we would have seen light. So, I mean, that was the idea I had in the first place. I just wasn't sure what weak point they were looking for to justify it. If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it. But when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black. So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit. Jeez, here I thought this would be the case, where the murder could only be done by a robot. You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence. All right. You made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you. I neither want nor need your pity. What the fuck? Enough with the flashlight. It's way too bright. It might be difficult to move around on the floor in that pitch black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do in this case. Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up then? Gonta thinks the culprit could stab Tenko from underfloor. Oh, nice observation, Gonta! Are you finally getting used to the class trials? Oh, thank you. Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff. Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that? That'll let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards. That sounds an awful lot like a certain other first trial. Boy, that sounds really familiar too. I'm just gonna ignore it. Her corpse didn't have any trace of glowing paint though. Yeah, it was dark, so we would have seen it. Oh yeah. So why was that floorboard loose? Are we assuming that we would have seen even a candle from the hole in the room? I guess so. So that rules out anybody coming under there, but we can also rule out anybody in the room doing it based on the dog statue, which means Tenko is the only one. This floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? Culprit used it while she was still alive. She totally noticed. Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us any closer to the culprit. We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue? What other issue? Perhaps first we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed. When? So not during seance? Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there? Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage. That's not possible. She was alive at that point. Is this the point of no return, Tenko? After this point, you mustn't speak. The next time you open your mouth, it will be Angie speaking through you. Understood. I will not say a word until the seance is over. Yes, she was unmistakably alive when the seance began. That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back... The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then. So she was killed when the room was dark. But she was inside cage, right? Gonta think it possible to kill her then. She wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time. A different time? How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads. Huh? Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'll propose an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think. If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circuit jerking your lipstick brains. Credible is the sound. No. When Tanko got killed, it wasn't during the seance. It could not have been done any other time. She was under the cage the whole time. When the cage was dead, and when the cage was lifted, she was dead. But what about the moment the cage was lifted? Like that. When cage lifted, the culprit could stab Tenko real fast. So fast no one saw. Oh man. What is she getting after this? So who lifted the cage? It was me. And obviously Himiko is the culprit. There's no doubt. Tenko not being killed during the seance? That might not be impossible, but there's no evidence for it. Oh. The evidence is probably the cage, the blood on the cage, and maybe the white sheet. No? But got to think that only possible if she was killed after seance. Unless you know reason why that's not true, Shuichi. But there's blood on the cage. Which would have been a really weird angle. Like if she was killed afterwards, blood still would have gone up. Cage was on the side. I guess that's not the logic they're looking for, or maybe that's not the timing they're looking for. Oh no, it's actually the sheet. There we go. No, it wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage was lifted. Either one would be fine though, because of the angle of the blood, but whatever, this is better, okay. Because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it. That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth. So we can see in this picture that the loose floorboard is actually outside the cage. So someone could have walked there and gotten under it that way. Although nothing has been disturbed in the way of the magic circle. Actually, that board has no salt on it. Do you see that? Doesn't that mean it was flipped around? What? How could my golden brain be so wrong when it felt so right? The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance. Oh dear. God, it's so wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance. What? I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain's gonna go all out. She's just gonna use this rebuttal showdown to jack off. Miu, honey, we can do that later. Think of that after the seance. It happened when the sheet was lifted. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab. Oh, the sickle's not long enough. They stuck the thin blade through the gaps of the cage, and that white sheet clean got stained blood red. But the weapon was a sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps. The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade, it'll be long enough to reach Tenko, sitting in there with her neck exposed. It wasn't the, oh, Tenko's last moments, the way that she was positioned. And Kyo's, that's none other than Kyo. Has to be a soul, yeah. So it's the sitting position. Let me just make sure that's our truth bullet. Tenko died in a crouch position. Yep. That didn't work. Huh? She was probably sitting down normally when she was in the cage. If you got a problem with that, then come with a better explanation, Bucko. But this is literally the truth bullet that says that she was not sitting. What the fuck? Is there another one that says this? Tenko had been crouched over in the iron cage with her forehead on this. And maybe it's this. Even though the other one says it too. Okay. They both say it. Whatever. Wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the cage. She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone. And the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position. I messed up again? How could this happen? I'm so embarrassed. No worries, Miyu. Everyone already knows your embarrassment to the human race. Yeah, no worries. How embarrassing! If Shuichi is right, then it is impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage. She could have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right? If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced. Not during the seance, or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it? Yeah, for a living person. Huh? What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko? What are you talking about? That's not possible. We all know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit. Don't say stupid stuff like that. Screw spirits. Stop that now. Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why? Hibiko? Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko? What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge? Like I said, that's impossible. Spirits can't be culprits. Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances. Well, see? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done that. Wait, I know. What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage? What? They were in there. They could have stabbed Tenko during the seance. So that goes back to Tenko killing herself. No, if there was someone else in the cage, we would have noticed. I agree with Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage. You do? Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide. Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place. But also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right? The they she's referring to